Coach, obviously, we just chatted with you yesterday after the
I
game, but
know.
in the almost 24 hours since that, what did you maybe see on tape? Was there anything that kind of stood out when you reviewed the game and kind of maybe something you saw you didn't like, you did like that maybe you didn't see in live action?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just felt like we made some defensive errors. Like LA never messes up a scout or a defensive assignment. And I think she probably gave up, 8 points in the first half and then another two or three, baskets in the second. And I mean that never happens. And then a little bit of our younger players not understanding scout and personnel and just have to teach them. I mean the fact that Howard number 11 was still driving right, and getting to the rim and us misplaying her. Not just the great takes she had because she had some of those that it didn't matter who was on her, but literally we forced her the wrong direction. I mean those kinds of things we have to clean up with the younger players, and we can't continue to mess those up late in contests. So that was the biggest thing. I think if you take away 10 or 12 or 14 of those points that I just think are we can. I think we can be better than that. I think we give ourselves a better chance to be a little more comfortable as we're working through our offense. The second thing I think is just, I liked a lot of the threes we got. We're 8 of 28. I keep saying it. It seems like every year I think we're going to be a better 3-point shooting team. But again, the people that missed are people that are really shooting the ball well in practice. LA was 2 of 7 or maybe 1 of 7, I think. And Tara didn't make one. And there's Jenna missed a couple. And I think those are kids that we want taking those shots. We feel good about those shots. You see Shasha, Charlotte, she misses her first three, and then, you see what she can do because she's not going to stop shooting. I mean, that's the kind of mentality we have to have from those young players. And I think overall, as we get our feet under us a little bit, we'll shoot the ball better and hopefully as we work through our offense and playing together, the timing of what we're trying to get is going to come along. So good and bad of all that. The good was just the fact that we fought and it was ugly and we didn't play great on either end of the floor. And somehow we, managed to grind out or be gritty and get a win when it looked pretty bleak and made some big winning plays to get us in position to go into overtime, and then obviously win it in overtime. So a lot of things to be happy about. And after watching it, there's still a lot of things to be happy about.
For years, we talked about this yesterday, but for years, when you'd get in situations like that, you're down 10, you're down 12, there was always one or two players that you would turn to. We know who they were. Did you feel like there was someone yesterday that really kind of took center stage and maybe even the leadership standpoint that kind of rallied everyone else around them?
Well, I think Tara wanted the ball and didn't have a lot of help from our bigger bigs, Candace and Alex, which we've got to continue to grow those two players and get them some minutes. But Tara was really just became our back to the basket kind of rock star. And her ability to create some paint points for us is huge. And then because we went small, it opened up the lane and when we moved her around and all of a sudden you have, some players getting to the rim that are really good, LA in particular. So I think those two, I mean, I don't know that LA had a great game in some ways, but I never wanted her off the court. She just is too much of a playmaker and is unafraid in big moments. And you saw that. You saw her make some key baskets for us to get us back in it. And so I think those two are ones. Obviously, you look at AT and the shot she made. She played significant minutes. She's playing at a really high level. So those older players, I think, were really solid for us. And then you have to give a lot of credit to Shasha in taking that shot to get us I don't know, to win it or get us to overtime or get us a lead before they made a basket. I mean, again, you gotta love that she's not afraid of those moments. So not that she's leading big, but she's not backing down in moments and giving way to other people. She's taking what the game gives her, and I think that's key to growing her game.
Saw Diana going through warm-ups, obviously not in uniform yesterday. Do you have kind of a rough timetable for when you think she'll be back?
Soon, soon.
Fair enough. And then
I'm
obviously,
not positive. She's back in practice a little bit. She did that warm up, you know, might be a little bit too much to throw her into Stanford, but I think, we're gonna get her back sooner than later as long as she doesn't have any setbacks. But she makes a difference when she steps on the floor, so we're excited to get her back.
and then you mentioned Stanford, obviously an opponent you're quite familiar with. Have you, when watching, even just their game against Lemoyne, have you noticed anything different without Tara, or is it basically because Kate Pay's been there so long, the same Stanford that you saw for as many years as you guys played each other in the pack?
Very similar, I think in the last couple of years they'd gone to a little bit, they've done this Chin or Princeton stuff, and then they kind of backtracked and went back to a little bit of triangle stuff from a years past. And I think maybe that was a little bit more because of Kiki and Brink, but they're still heavy. And just, Nunu is a beast in the low post. They've got some size that they can bring in the low post. So they have a first post in down that gets them into some one-on-one isolations that's really hard to guard because they shoot the ball so well. So and then they run pretty much that Princeton stuff that's just again, the spacing on the floor doesn't leave for much backside help. So their one-on-one post, just they usually have the better player when it's one-on-one. So very, very skilled, very disciplined in how they run that. We cannot mimic it to the level that they run it. We try to get for 3 weeks. Everybody kind of runs, some series of this Princeton stuff. So we're constantly trying to get our practice guys to learn this system. And there's just it's not even close to how they run it versus, how the guys run it versus Stanford. So, but at least we're getting a little taste of it and trying to figure out some options and what we can do against it. But very much, I think Kate was so heavily involved in what they ran and how they trained and how they put that in that I don't see any difference whatsoever.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck on Thursday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jamie. Sam couldn't make it on, but he sent me a couple questions, so I'll just ask him right now. First, his first question, just her late shot, her 3-point shot late in the fourth quarter. How has she earned her teammates' trust to make high stakes shot like that in her first game?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's been. I'm so impressed with the freshman class that we have. I've communicated that they are diehard ballers. They want to be in the gym nonstop. They want extra shooting. They don't hardly miss days. And in that, they're constantly working on their footwork or their shooting. So it makes a lot of sense that her ball goes in a lot. Now, and again, she's got learning as much as we've put her through and all the freshmen. It just takes some time for things to become natural, to know when your shot's coming, to know what to look for and not to be overthinking things. And we've kind of just told her, if you're open, shoot it. It doesn't really matter. That's the only decision you have to make when you catch the ball is look at the rim, and if you're open, shoot it. And she can do that. When she simplified that and she doesn't try to do too much before she catches and all that stuff, she's usually a lockdown shooter. And yeah, she has the confidence of her coaches, of her teammates. She's proven it. I just love her fight, that she's not affected. She's a typical shooter. She's not affected by 3 misses. She doesn't even know she missed 3. I think I told her at halftime she missed 3 and she probably didn't know it. And she just walks out on the court and shoots the next one, and they're going to go in. So proud of her. And again, she's going to get a lot better as we go.
And then last one, will playing a school like Stanford this early in the year be an advantage to you guys?
Well, I don't know. I mean, their system, they're baked in. They know their system. They have new players. They don't have Brink and Kiki and Jump this year, but I promise you they have unbelievable 3-point shooters and unbelievable talent at every spot on the floor. They're very disciplined in what they do. You can't get them out of it. we're going to have to guard so much better than we did last night. And we're going to have to score the basketball better than we did last night. So I love the fact that we were in a tough game and we had to scramble and fight for what we got. But we need to make significant improvements from when we played last night because Stanford's a significantly better team.